Welcome to the Kahu Way. My name is Stacy, and I have my guest here, Lisa, today. And we're going to share with you an experience that Lisa had with her dog, Stanley. Stanley was a therapy dog who turned somewhat aggressive and is back to therapy dog. So we want to share that journey with you and what Lisa did and how I helped and others had helped on this journey. So, Lisa, welcome. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us today. So, Lisa, can you tell me a little bit about Stanley and your life with him prior to coming to me and where the change happened?
Thank you. We received Stanley as a puppy and everything was good. We weren't noticing any problems with him up until I got him neutered. He was a therapy dog at the age of 5 months and
Mhm.
all was going well. He got along very well with people. He got along very well with dogs. I'm actually the evaluator for the Niagara region. So when he was evaluated by our CEO, all was really well with him and his personality. Once we got him neutered this past November, I noticed about 3 weeks after having him home that he became aggressive and very much um, trying to control the situation. Like even when we were outside, we would normally walk with him in the neighborhood and he was fine. And we were finding that he was becoming reactive, that we would have people passing us and he was lunging and trying to almost bite them. And that was with people as well as dogs that he knew. So at that point, I pulled him out of therapy tails and our walks became very, very difficult. So I contacted a trainer. Her name was Evelyn Burke and she was working
Mm.
with us. And at the same time, I was given you as a referral, somebody had given me, and I thought I would certainly try. And that is when I came to you and we did the singing bowls.
Right. So I do session singing bowl therapy sessions with animals. It's energy healing and sound frequency therapy. And Lisa came to me with Stanley in the first night, and all was well. Stanley was laying
Mhm.
pretty quiet throughout the whole thing. And I remember towards the end, because I'm leaning over for about an hour, and towards the end, I lifted
Mhm.
my arms to take a stretch, and he got up and just started barking at me and going crazy, right? So we waited till he settled down and such, and afterwards, I go around to each of the dogs and do a little bit of one-on-one energy healing with them and see if they have anything to say to
Mhm.
me. And so when I went over to you and Stanley, I asked him why he reacted the way he did when I put my hands up, and he said because he had to protect you.
Mhm.
So that was the first of it, right?
Mhm.
And you had been told that by a medium as well, I think you
Yes,
had said.
yes,
And so you had come for a couple of more sessions, and then you were coming, or you asked me to come for a home session
yes,
because you have Stanley and Marlo, his brother, who's also a therapy dog,
yes, yep.
and two cats.
Mhm.
So we did a sound healing session with everybody that night. And prior to me coming, I tapped in with Stanley a little bit to see how he was going to be with me coming into the house. And excuse me, I asked him why he's been acting aggressive and acting out the way that he's been acting out. And he said to me, because she's sick. And I didn't know how to take that at first, but then I remembered, animals speak like a child. They have no filters, no perceptions, or sorry, not no perceptions. Their perceptions are a little bit off, right? They're very literal. So I asked him why he thought that way. And he showed me a picture of your stomach with your hand over top of it, like you were in pain. And I said, okay. And I thanked him for sharing that. And then I came that evening and I shared that with you, and that he was concerned for you. And that is why he needed to protect you, because his concern for you. And what did you tell me once I told you that?
Yeah, I was totally shocked. I had had 2 bouts of pancreatitis and literally was in the fetal position on the couch holding my stomach because the pain was so bad. And again, the two dogs, they're both Goldens, were right by my side the whole time, never ever thinking that that was something that had affected him or that he was even aware of.
Right.
I
And
was
that's
very surprised.
That's one thing a lot of people don't understand is how connected energetically our animals are to us. They will sense something within us before we even know what's
Hmm.
going on,
Hmm.
right? So that was a huge turning point at that point for that understanding. And we had a conversation with him of saying, you know, like it's okay, she's okay now, you don't have to protect her anymore. And you started doing some visualizations
Yes.
of leaving the house.
Hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you had mentioned to me that every time we're leaving the house that I really should be talking to him in a positive way because I certainly wasn't. As I'm leashing up his collar, I would be saying to him and in my head, God, be a good boy. Like, okay, you're going to be nice. You're okay. And I was petrified every time a dog would be approaching us or a person would be approaching us. And as I've been told in the past, but also by the trainer, that I mean, it just radiates how you're feeling
Yeah.
right through the leash. And I mean, and I was nervous, and so was my husband. So we sort of changed our thinking. And then when we were at the door, we were telling him, you're fine. You're good. We're fine. We're going to go on a nice walk. We're going to see people. And it was all positive. And it took really a few weeks, I would say. And he changed. We were absolutely shocked. We first did it with people. I would step off to somebody's driveway and give them the right of way on the sidewalk, put him in a sit and stay, and he wouldn't react.
Hmm.
And I was getting his attention first because that is what the trainer had said to do. And again, he did wonderful. And then slowly we were then introducing him to neighbors' dogs that he had been friends with for a very long time. And we actually ended up going on a walk, and I have pictures of it because I was just totally, totally surprised. It was almost like he was pack walking and that he missed them.
Mhm.
And now I reevaluated him with Therapy Tales, and he is now back in the program
That's
because we have
amazing.
absolutely no issues now with people or with dogs. So he has just come a complete full circle.
That's amazing. And that's one thing, you know, also in the understanding is if the animal is acting out, if there's something going on with the animal, there's something going on. Our animals are always trying to communicate with us and to us. And when we ignore that communication, when we don't understand what they're trying to tell us, then we just keep putting them into a box of where we think they should be or what we think they should be doing. They get frustrated too.
Mhm.
You know, they have their own lives. They come here for a purpose. They have their own wants, needs, and desires. And they're very in tune with you, their people, their household, what's going on around them. They pick up on things that we can't even perceive, right?
Mhm.
Their
Mhm.
senses are so much more energetic and you know, we can teach them words, we can teach them what the words mean and training and such, but their first language is energy and
Mhm.
body language.
Mhm.
Right? So if there's something going on with your animal, you need to find out what's going on
Mhm.
outside of them, within them, or so on. So once that had happened, and Lisa asked me to come over for a full communication with Stanley because she wanted to ask some questions.
Mhm.
And I wrote a lot of it down because there was a lot of information we got that day.
Mhm.
He was so happy to have somebody, you know, communicate with him. And so as we said earlier, you know, he had said that he wanted to protect Lisa, and that's why he was acting aggressive. And we figured it out that it was because of her pancreatic attacks. And what happened after that? I'm trying to think the
Well,
other
it was
thing.
funny because I remember like when you had come over, he right away, like I felt bonded to you and remembered you like immediately. And then you had said to me that you had been communicating with him during the week, even before you came.
Mhm.
And it was a complete different, I felt, reaction to somebody coming in the door when you came in because of the bond that
Right.
you two had both had. So, one of the questions that I did have was asking him, is he now comfortable going out on walks? And is he comfortable in wanting to go back into Therapy Tales? And you had said that he had said he would because he's with his brother. Not that he
Yes.
really, really enjoys it,
Yeah.
but that he's willing to go.
Yes.
So,
So the first thing I remember saying though is that he's a little bit ADD.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
he very much needs a job to do. He needs to use his brain. He needs to focus, right? So when we asked him that question if he wanted to do therapy tales, he said to me, "Meh,
Yeah.
I endure it. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it because I get to spend time with my brother and my mom." So that's why he goes and he puts up with it. But he would really rather do something else. And then he showed me him running through the forest, like through a trail with complete focus. And it came to me that search and rescue kept coming to me that he needs that focus of using his brain and you know, he uses his brain somewhat in a calming way at the therapy tales, but he needs to use his energy in a focused way while using his body, was what he was showing me as well. And the cupboard. There was the cupboard.
Yes, yes.
So
We have a cupboard in the kitchen that there's a drawer on the top and then a cupboard on the bottom, and they just sort of rub a little bit. And every time I would go to that cupboard, he would run. And I wanted to know what his problem was with the cupboard. And basically, he was very short and curt about it and said, I don't like it. It's
yeah,
loud.
he said, I don't like it. It sounds different. It's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it made a different noise before
Yeah.
this. She had confirmed that
Yes.
after the fact.
Mhm.
So I just asked him, what's up with the cupboard? Why does he run every time with that cupboard? And that was his answer. So since then, what has been going on?
He has been really, really good. I mean, we were very fortunate that with this problem that had come up, that it was only outside of the house. Because I have a home business and I was having people in my house all the
Hmm.
time, he was not reacting to anyone in the house. This protective thing was happening outside the house. So, I mean, for that, we were very grateful that it wasn't with family or friends or clients that were coming into the house. And now I don't have really any hesitation in bringing him into situations. I will watch and monitor what ones I will bring him into because I don't want to stress him out, um, because he's coming around, but I
Hmm.
think I want it to be slowly for him. And
Yes.
especially with the whole idea that, he likes it, but he doesn't love it.
Yes. Yeah.
So I,
And he also showed me that he liked going on walks with the other dogs, that he was
yes,
ready to do that again and he was
yeah.
enjoying that. And back to the protective thing, he also had said to me, because I asked him, he said that he was the protector of the home, that he
Mhm.
needed to be, he was like an old school Italian man who needed to, protect everybody within the home. So I asked him why he felt that way. And he said, that's what my parents did. And then
Yes.
you told me about the
Yes.
farm you got him
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. He came from a large 360 head cattle farm, and his
Wow.
dad was the alpha, and he had his mom, and then his aunt had puppies as well. But his dad was sort of like the ruler of all of the pups and was the father to all of these dogs. So I'm thinking that that is kind of where that mentality has come from. That's his dad
Yeah.
for sure.
And when I asked him if he could maybe not be so protective, he
Yeah.
said, I'll try. It's so funny how they come across. They're just
Hmm.
very
Blunt.
blunt, like
Hmm.
children are.
Hmm.
Anyways, thank you, Lisa, for joining me today and for sharing your story. I'm so happy that this story turned around and
Oh,
there were many moving parts to this story with, the training with Evelyn and then my portion of it. But the biggest portion was you and your dedication
well, thank you.
and putting in the work and going for that extra help, and looking outside the box and really getting down deep for what was best for Stanley
Hmm.
so that he can be the dog that he needs to be in order for you to enjoy your pet
Hmm.
the
Well, I
best way
really appreciate
possible.
it because to me, if it wasn't for what Evelyn taught us to do and how to react and how not to react, and then for you telling us the other part of it of where the dog was coming from in his mind, it was just a win-win on both ends. So, I mean, we are so grateful
Well, I'm
for
grateful that you came
for
to
you.
me and that we were able to, all of us together,
Hmm.
put this together because in my mind's eye, there's, training is absolutely a beautiful, wonderful thing. I think every dog should be
Hmm.
trained, every animal,
Yes.
however, horses or whatever you're dealing with, right? They need that training, they need that direction. But at the same time, to have an understanding and someone who
That's
can
huge.
actually give you the understanding of what that animal needs
Hmm.
in order to thrive and
Hmm.
why they're behaving the way they're behaving
Hmm.
is huge as well. So using both aspects as you
Hmm.
did
Yep.
was a
Huge.
wonderful combination and it was a short time,
Hmm.
a couple of months. This was
Yeah,
only
for
this
sure.
was only
Yeah.
within a couple of
Yeah.
months where
Yeah.
this all turned around. So,
Yeah.
so many people give up on their animals and they're acting aggressive and they want to give them away or they end up putting them down or something happens and I'm just going to ask that people look outside the box a little bit, find out
Mhm.
what is going on with your animal, what is going on with you or within your household, or if there's been traumas or anything like that, because it can be a quick fix,
Absolutely. And
a
because you have
turnaround.
the ability to speak with them and for us to then do something of what they want us to do rather than what we're always directing them to do,
Right.
it is just such a benefit to the homeowner to have peace in the house with your dog and for the dog to be happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in that aspect as well, with you having her or sorry, Marlowe and Stanley, and they're
Hmm.
both fit therapy dogs, Marlowe thrives on it.
Yeah.
He just loves it. He loves the attention. He showed me that that's what he loves to do. Whereas Stanley, not so much. He
Hmm.
tolerates it, but not so much. So it's
Hmm.
showing you that, you know, two brothers
Yeah.
even have two totally different views and two totally different personalities, and
Hmm.
that's okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They have their purpose here too.
Yes.
So again, thank you for joining me. I
Well,
hope you
thank you.
found value within this video. And you can look me up on Facebook or Instagram on the Kahu Way. Have a beautiful day and keep your animals happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.